Hello everyone, get ready for some trending new info in your quest for knowledge. Have you ever missed someone who doesn't even exist? How did that happen? Falling in love in a dream and then waking up. It's not fun. This has happened to me a few times, even gotten married. I hate waking up. It happened enough times to me that I almost prefer bad dreams, because it makes waking up a bit more tolerable. I had a period of depression because I was so happy in my dreams and not reality. I was catfished, she was perfect, then found out it was a crazy ex with a year-long play. If only she showed the dedication when we were together. Aw man, I'm sorry that happened. A year-long catfish by your ex can def duck with your head. Man, that ex must have zero life. Yeah. I did write a novel once for fun and killed off one of my main characters halfway through and started missing her quite a bit in the second half of the book. It's weird how characters you basically pulled out of your donkey can grow on you. If it were a TV soap opera, you can bring them back claiming they faked their death and were secretly hiding in the Andes Mountains plotting their revenge against the person who killed their father, who wasn't really his father, but that's a story for another time. Or say the whole season was Pamela's dream. When I was young, I had an imaginary older brother. I didn't play with him, but I wrote him letters. As I grew older, I would write Dear Jamie letters, to relieve some stress or something. I'd write about school, about friendship stresses. I had grown up feeling like there was a brother-shaped hole in my life. I remember writing about that. It didn't make sense, I couldn't have had an older brother, my family would not have forgotten about a whole child. But I missed him. I felt his absence. I was 18 when my parents told me that I'd had an older brother, but he had been stillborn due to spina bifida complications. They had kept him a secret from us, due to the pain of his loss. He never got a name, but James had been on the top of their list. My parents had always been startled and made uncomfortable by my letter writing to Jamie. To this day, I still miss Jamie. I guess he did technically exist in some way, but he had been gone 6 years before I was even born. Not a person, but I deeply miss some places I've been to in my dreams, and sometimes some elements of them turn up randomly and nostalgia hits. Pretty bad knowing such a place does not exist and you can only find comfort in memories of it. These types of dreams usually lead to me starting a book with that dream as a setting. I didn't say I ever finished the books, but that's another thing. I have done this before as well. I am also an artist, so I like to draw what I've seen in my dreams too. Doesn't usually get finished though, lol. Fictional characters that have provided me a comfort when I felt like I had no one else. I feel more comfortable talking with Stranger Son Reddit than I do talking to people in real life. Hello, I am Stranger Son. Old friend. I've had an internet best friend for like 25 years. Who I never met. She disappeared at one point for like 2 years. And this was a long time ago and virtual relationships of any kind didn't really exist, so if I told people, the reactions I got were literally "you're a loser" up to "she doesn't even really exist." It makes you wonder what exists really means anymore. Did she come back? Yes, thankfully. I have faith she'll be my friend till the end now. It's really nice. When I was around 10 years old, I cried for weeks after I decided to say goodbye to my imaginary friend. Growing up as a child, I could not make friends. Autism is a witch, so I just made up someone I could talk to in my head. It was much like you would imagine a conversation between a ventriloquist and his dummy would go, but thinking back, that was a necessary crutch to help me put my thoughts in order and to reason things out, as well as to keep myself company. That's Avery capable 10 yo to have the understanding that you have to say goodbye to your imaginary friend, that real life in general must have its place. Maybe you could write a children's book honoring your imaginary friend who got you through. I'd read it. You ever have a super lonely period of your life and you dream you have a partner? Like they're flirty and fun and you guys are in just a normal relationship? Sometimes I dream about this girl and when I wake up I miss her so much. Of course after like a minute of waking up I snap out of it, but for those first 10 or so seconds of waking up I am truly heartbroken because I felt a real connection to another human being for once only to realize it was all fake. I'm not particularly lonely in my waking life. Well, obviously I'm a little lonely, at least on a subconscious level, but the dream loneliness hits extra hard. Dream emotions are so intense, they dredge up all that small stuff and amplify it 1,000-fold. I've dreamed of my dream guy too, or like, different dreams with different elements of him. I think it's great, even if it's sad and you feel hollow when you wake up, because it helps give you perspective on what you want in someone else, or something you're missing in life at least. I miss the version of me out there living life and thriving without being bogged down by mental illness. I also think culture and politics is making it a lot worse for people as well. I myself struggle to see how the world could be so cruel and hateful nowadays. I mean, we grew up reading about it in history books, but I never thought I would see such a large divide in my own country. It's crazy to see my own thoughts written out onto a Reddit post. Are you my conscience, KarmaGod13000? Always have very vivid dreams. One time I dreamed I was pregnant and it felt so real. Sometimes it dawns on me that this might be a dream, but not then. It was so vivid and detailed in such a long dream. I was pregnant with a healthy baby girl, had a boyfriend and enough money to support a small family. Everyone was congratulating me. Everything was perfect. Then I woke up. No baby, no boyfriend, alone in my bed at 3 a.m., my arms outstretched to hug someone, just really I was hugging empty space. My flat stomach where my belly was supposed to be, my baby girl gone. It was devastating. Never cried so bad in my life. Dream haunted me for weeks. Tiniest things almost made me cry for 3 days. Damn you brain. My father was arrested 7 days before my second birthday. He pleaded no contest to 3 charges and served their respective 3-year terms concurrently, even though he deserved to be in prison for much longer. He had a supervised visitation when I was 5 and made it clear that he was disappointed in me. Growing up, I alternated between viewing him as a nearly supernaturally powerful monster and someone whose love I craved, even if it meant being abused. I met him when I was 19 and realized that he was just a sad, old man that did horrible things because he only cared about himself. When I was 24, I learned that he died from cancer. I couldn't understand why I had such a strong sense of loss. Over time, I realized that I was grieving the father I had always longed to have, the man my father could have been. His death removed any ambiguity. He wasn't going to magically transform into that ideal image. He was dead, and the version of him I had been holding out hope for was never alive. He blamed everything he did on his upbringing and the trauma he experienced, trauma he revisited on his wife and his own children. I have a wife and a young daughter. I always knew his excuses were a sham. I have experiential evidence of that now. Sometimes I still miss the personality that my ex made up, to cover up the violent, sociopathic serial abuser underneath. I came here to say this, knowing others undoubtedly have the same experience. I once told him, if you did all this to make me stay, to cut my legs out from under me so I couldn't walk away, you should know the only person I would have ever stayed for is the version of you that didn't freaking abuse me, and would that have been so hard? Even years later, I still think to myself, what a effing waste. I dreamt I had a baby daughter. Waking up and realizing I would never have the chance to see that little precious bundle grow up hurt like a mother fricker, still does. We have a popular birthday song in Germany where the chorus translates to, "How great that you have been born, otherwise we would have missed you very much." People often make fun about this because it doesn't seem to make sense. I think it makes perfect sense. What is the name of the song, please? Met her in a dream. I knew I was dreaming, the girl my mind made up knew it was a dream. We connected, shared the moment and wanted to be in the dream state forever. We took care of each other, snuggled and just chilled after a while. Eventually she just sort of faded away and I knew I was about to wake up. Woke up with a wet pillow and thought it was sad that I'd have a dream like this, but kind of beautiful too. Taught me a little about living in the moment. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.